Hey everyone, in today's quick videos, I'm going to show you how to build an audience, okay, a behavioral audience using your DSP's DMP, selecting audience segments. We're going to look at which data provider to select. We're going to look at how to build the audience. This is perfect for anyone in programmatic, a programmatic ninja that is building, creating, optimizing data segments, campaigns in a DSP. But it's also very valuable to understand how to do this if you're an account manager, if you are a planner asking for estimates of impressions or inventory availability. So this is going to be a perfect videos for any of the above. Let's get into it. Okay, let me put my glasses on. So on your board right now, on your screen right now, you see that we have a DSP that we're going to use. I really want to I really want to point out the importance of naming convention, especially if you're building an audience at the planning level, meaning you're not yet using the audience, but you want to see what's happening, like what availability is before maybe you recommend it in your reporting or as you're estimating for a new media plan. Okay. So naming convention is really, really important. So if it's not running yet, you can add the brand's name and the particular ad group you were thinking about adding it, or it's just the brand and then the audience name. So here I said test audience name, your initial, my name is Helene Audrey Parker, Ellen Audrey Parker, and then the date it was created. Because if you created this in December 2021, and then it's March 2023, you might want to go ahead and update and look into the segments. Anything above a 3-month period, I think will be safe to go ahead and update and adjust. Okay. So anything about 90 days, you want to come back and see like, are those segments still accurate? Are there better refreshed segments or things like that? All right. So let's use the example of people that so you receive a request from your planner as a programmatic trader. The planner is asking you like, hey, we're pitching this client. They are, dealership, and they want to be able to target people that like to change their own oil. Can you tell me if that's something we can do? So you're going to come in your DMP and you're going to be like, okay, so I want to target people in the US. Okay. So let me go ahead and add United States as so that all of the segments that are going to come up are only going to show the United States. Well, it's supposed to be. And so when you're in here, you want to add data group, or well, in this particular DSP, some of us are going to recognize it. It gives you the opportunity to use first-party data, retail media, behavioral. This is specific, and this is an example for third-party audiences. So I'm going to go ahead and click on behavioral. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down a tiny bit. You have the option of pulling up group of segments or individual. I like to pull individual segments. So group of segments is just a DSP that basically done the work for us, right? So it pulled into it really created a group based on what we're going to look up. But I recommend, especially if you want to look at availability, or especially if you're building your campaign from scratch and you're building an audience from scratch, just look at individual segments for now. Okay. So we want people that can change their own oil. So literally how I start anything is put the phrases. If nothing comes up, that's okay. What I'll do is I'll put things like, oh, okay, so see how it changed the repair oil. What was it? See how it moves so fast? Okay. So repair oil, we know that is auto repair. You can also add keyword auto so that it only pulls people that, change your cars. Okay. All right. So first thing when you do is, again, naming convention, make sure you're as clear as possible, because somebody's going to look it up in 6 months from now and see that, oh, this was created for planning purposes. Second thing that I recommend is always put from an individual segment's perspective. Grouping means there's a lot of the same thing and you can test the data this way. But in a world where we're moving away from third-party audiences, you want to be as specific as possible. So our recommendation is using individual segments, but you do what you want. Second thing you want to do is, third thing you want to do is start playing with the keywords. Okay. Start playing with the keywords, start adding different keywords until you find or you come close to the audience that you are trying to pull. So again, in this example, my planner reached out to me and said, hey, we're bitching this dealership. They want to target people that like to change their own oil. So like the DIYers of cars, right? So I put auto repair oil. It don't make sense, but it's okay. Again, you're trying to play with those keywords and look at your segments. And so you see a bunch of segments coming up. And the reason why I really like most DSP will have, see how on your screen, I'm not going to move my cursor here, but on the screen, you see the blue thing that popped up and it gives you more information about your segment. That's really important. So for this segment, it's called Valvoline Express Care Auto Repair Oil Change. So this is in the US, so it's a US based segment. Place visited, Polygon. This simply is giving you example. It's explaining how this audience was packaged, basically. Brands is home and social extension, Valvoline Express Care, auto repair, oil change. So when you read at POI based segment extracted via polygons traced around each Valvoline Express Care, including household and social. So these are location based of this place called Valvoline Express Care. And usually people just drive up to those places to change their own oil. So this could be good recommendation, for instance. So you could recommend two audiences, get back to your planner and recommend two audiences. You can recommend just a simple segments such as this one is in market auto vehicle, auto repair, maintenance, and oil change. So they are in market to change their oil, but we don't know if they're doing it themselves or if they are taking it to a repair place. That's the only thing with some of these audiences. So we can select them. This one is really good, again, because it tells us exactly that these people are going to those places to change the oil. If I were you before, I can select it right now, okay? But I would want to look up like Valvoline Express Care to see if this is just you take it to the place and somebody does it for you, or if you take it to the place and I can do it myself. So I would want to really separate those two, paying for the service or paying to do it myself, okay? And so I'll keep scrolling. So these people have changed their oil in the last year. These people have used these specific oils to change their cars. And then you can see that over here is the data provider Claritas. And then I always want to pay attention to the media's cost or the data fee. If it's $7 CPM in the data fee, just remember that that's going to be added to your bid. So if your bid is around $3 and the media fee is around $7, your final CPM could be anywhere of upwards of $10, $12 because you still have to add some additional fees, right? So you got to be mindful of some of those segments cost. Okay, $250 is it's all right. It's all right. So let's continue. So I see I'm selecting some. I don't need to select everything. I really want to be as specific. I want to test a handful of them. I'm gonna DIY auto oil and see. Oops. And see what comes up, because again, I want to target the people that are doing it themselves. So I only have three. It's from IRI. This segment targets potential insurance customers based off their high propensity to purchase motor oil. Okay, so this is insurance based, so you can select it for now, and I'll explain why. And then this one is maintains own car. This is 30 days. Okay, that's pretty good. Maintains own car. We want to do that. So now that I know that, oh, there's people that maintain own car, let me go ahead and be like maintain own car and see what else pops up. Okay, only this one. Do car DIY repair. Let me see what pops up real quick. Do it yourself. Okay. Okay, so let me see. DIY cars and auto repair. This auto aftermarket audience indicates consumers' likelihood to be DIY cars, okay, and auto repairs shoppers. Okay, so there those people are shopping to do, but I want people I want it specifically. Okay, so if you're changing your oil, you most likely are buying the part. So this could be a good one. This auto aftermarket audiences indicates consumer likelihood to be DIY auto part. Okay, so I could add this one as well. So see how I am looking at different type of audiences and really understanding how it's made. I would also even recommend to reach out to these data providers and say, hey, we're pitching this big client. I came across these handful of segments. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Or can you send us a custom audience? And most of the time when they send a custom audience, it doesn't have to be private deals. It could just be a selection in here. So that's a good way to do it. So again, you got to play a little bit. We're coming to the end of this quick video. You got to play a little bit with your keywords. You got to be mindful of your costs. You got to look at those data providers and reach out to them for additional questions. And then when you are planning or just checking for availability, let's say this is not yet confirmed, it's okay to mix the audiences like this. What I would recommend is that when you're building your audience and you're ready to launch, to separate some of those categories. For instance, we have maybe two categories here. So we have people that are three categories. We have people that are maintaining their own oil. So doing, like, we know that they're changing their oil. We have people that are shopping for car parts. Okay, it could be oil, anything else. And then you have those people that may take it to a place and pay for the oil to be changed, or change the oil themselves. So you have domestic consumers changing the oil maybe at their home, and you have domestic consumers changing their oil in those places. Like I said, what was it, Valvoline or something like that? So those are three separate categories, and you can start all of them in one audiences, or you can request three audiences and optimize and see which one is performing best, and then bring this type of insight. So again, this planner is asking you, what are the availability if we want to target somebody that likes to fix their own cars or change their own oil? You can come back to them and say, hey, I've found about a handful of segments with this amount of impression and unique IDs available, but here are two additional audiences we would like to try to target these audiences, and those are boom boom. Okay, so I'll end with this. By recommending additional audiences, to help target that one audience that was requested, you're going from being a good trader to a great trader. And you're also going to use your creative thinking, which is very, encouraged, because now you're taking it one step further. So you're not being restricted to this. You're thinking like, okay, like my husband changed his own oil. So all right, so he always changed it at home. But when he was in an apartment complex, he used to take it to those places, but change it himself there. You know what I mean? So just remember that. Always take a little bit step further. Answer the question that you were asking. Also recommend something else. And sometimes it's as easy as just putting yourself in the consumer behavior, really looking into the consumer's behavior, taking it to the next level, trying to test new things. And when you're testing new things, be mindful of your costs. And I'll leave you with this. You don't have to add more than like 3 to 5 segments per those categories. We used to be able to add 10 to 20 to 40 segments. We don't got to do this anymore. Be very specific on who you want to spend your money with. Look those data providers up and test them and take notes. Okay?
Hi, are you struggling to set up a campaigns and queuing it efficiently within a good amount of time? Are you optimizing your campaigns? Let's start here. And if you do optimize, are you spending way too long in a report in Excel, not knowing where to start, how to get started, or even like what type of decisions to make? How about this? Can you even confidently talk about what you are doing in front of a client in a client's meeting? If you answered no to some of these questions, I want to help. I've created a program, an accelerator program called the Reach and Frequency. What we do in this program is exactly what I mentioned. We have built it for you. And honestly, I wish I would have had this program when I first started. This is perfect for anybody with less than 2 to 3 years in this industry, whether you're in programmatic media buying, whether you're in ad tech, whether you're on the publisher and media owner side, ad ops. I really want to work with you and I know you can benefit. We literally walk you through, give you real life DSP overviews. Some of your assignment will include setting up in those. You have some of the QA guides that I've developed over the years and while training other traders. You've also have the opportunity to optimize real campaigns. I'm talking about real reports. I'll walk you through everything that you need to do, how to get started, why to make the decision, and how to optimize in 15 minutes or less. Yes, I said that. 15 minutes or less. If this is you and you're ready to step it up and level up in your career and not have to take as long as us, okay, have taken, like the ones that grew up in this industry have taken so long to get to where we are getting, I strongly recommend that you join the program now. Check out the QR code or the link in the notes. And if you have any question, you know where to find me.